you drinking? Fade away. All my friends, they fade away. Don't worry.
Long time no vlog, am I right? It's been a while. Hello friends, my name is Katie. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to technically part 2 of my editing journey. But here's the thing. Some things are changing. My methodology is completely different now and we have some things to catch up on. So if you'll indulge me for a couple of minutes while I explain what's happening and what's going to be happening for the foreseeable future. Because a lot of shit's happened and we just gotta get through it. Okay, so first of all, I am actually doing a lot of major developmental changes to the story. This comes on the heels of one of my good friends who has given me some feedback on The Wrath King. In case you don't know, The Wrath King is the first novel I ever finished, and it is hopefully what I'm going to be querying with later this year, assuming I get it all edited and ready for betas. One can hope. The schedule's been shoved back a little bit because of this. Anyway, I gave my book to Wallisimo. She's here on YouTube. Please go follow her. She's amazing. She's brilliant. And she gave me some invaluable... Is that what the word I'm looking for? That's a weird way. Why is it invaluable? Ins like means not. Anyway, apparently though it means extremely useful, indispensable. But anyway, she gave me some invaluable feedback and information and some ideas for how I can fix and just make the story better, which is essentially what I was looking for. So she gave me that feedback and I have actually made myself a plan for what I'm going to be doing with this book, which is really exciting because what I'd been missing was the fact that I had never really developmentally edited this book, which was a big problem because there were some things that I knew were wrong with it. I just couldn't pinpoint what exactly was wrong with it or why it was wrong or why it wasn't working. However, with some of the things that Wallis said in her feedback, it all clicked together. Maybe not all of it, but a lot of it did click together. So some drastic things are happening and I'm rewriting about 90% of the book. I am absolutely fucking terrified of this. I can't explain to you how scary this is to think that I'm going to rewrite this entire book, which at the moment is 140,000 words or more. And I'm going to try to rewrite it. However, the things that I am changing are mostly in the beginning, and I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that I have to do minimal edits at the end. There are two main things that I am doing. The first thing that I'm doing is I am completely cutting one of my point of views. Entirely. Like, it's gone. I think putting all of the events and the details that were in that point of view and putting them in a separate character's point of view will overall strengthen the story and strengthen that other character's arc, especially because that character's arc is kind of a really important arc and it is the strongest arc in the book. So I want to strengthen that and give it more depth and essentially make it more important to the overall story. I think that was one of my problems, is that I hadn't seriously been thinking about how I needed to drive this story back to what the heart of it is. So I'm cutting an entire point of view. The other reason I'm cutting this point of view is because I think it takes up too much space for what we get out of it. I love this character. I think this character's arc is important. However, I think it is taking away space where I could develop the other 3 points of view and the other 3 characters to be much stronger. The second thing that I'm doing is I am chopping one of my character's point of views, another character's point of view, but I'm not getting rid of that point of view entirely like I am with the other one, but I'm changing that point of view to a different character. So it's basically going to serve the same function as the original character's point of view, where the new character that's taking that point of view's place will be going on the same events and the same journey as the original character, just there's a lot more tension because this new character is more involved in the goings-on of the court than the original character was. I'm being kind of vague, I know, I'm sorry. But essentially what's happening is I am changing the person that is telling that portion of the story so that the inner personal details of what's going on with that character become way more fleshed out. The character actually, hopefully people will connect. The feedback I got said that the original character of the point of view is kind of blank and he doesn't really have a lot of things, and that's absolutely right. I knew that was what was the problem with this point of view, and I didn't really know how to fix it because he wasn't right for the story. his point of view is going to be given to another character, so I have to rewrite all of his point of view to fit this new character. Hopefully I can use some swaths of the descriptions and stuff that I've used. I'm also hoping with this rewrite to make it much more streamlined and much faster paced and actually have a cohesive way that the story flows along, because that was the other thing. There's lots of stops and starts. There's a lot of kind of confusion with the timeline. I'm even confused with the timeline. All of that said, I am rewriting, I think, probably 75% of the book. I think it's also going to be a good opportunity for me to kind of flesh out the magic system, because I don't think the magic system is particularly well developed, I'll be honest. Like cogs that have been turning in my head and like thoughts that I've been having that I'm trying to make sense of, and I think it's just taken a while for me to get there, and that's what I've been struggling with and with these notes that Wallis gave me, it really has given me a fresh set of eyes into the world and given me kind of the keys back to my own story, because I really felt like my story, I was kind of just stuck in the fact that the first way I wrote the story was the only way the story could be told, when in reality I was trying to tell too many different types of stories, and I should have just focused on what is the main point that I'm trying to make. What is the main focus of this book? And I do believe that the first way I wrote this does not leave enough open doors or enough explanation for the things that I want to happen in the second book. Those are what is going on. I've already started to re-outline. That was my first step. I have the inciting incident and then the break into the second act. I have already gotten up to, I think, like chapter 13. I'm really hoping that this makes it more streamlined. I'm going to dive back into outlining, so we'll see how that goes. I might have to reorder after I've written it, but I'm hoping that that's how the cookie will crumble. If not, that's a worry for later draft Katie. I'm also thinking about editing as I go. I think that might be something to do, especially because this is the third draft. I definitely want to get the beginning written and kind of get some feedback on the beginning, or the new beginning that I've planned and the new beginning that I've written. So I'm going to jump back in. I'm hoping to get my outline done today. I'm not a very detailed outliner, mostly because that kind of takes the fun out of drafting, and since I'm redrafting and rewriting, I don't want to take the fun out of it. I'm really invigorated to restart this process and to jump back into this book, hopefully with fresh thoughts and fresh feelings, and I won't be discouraged, because that was like really a problem like at the end of December and at the beginning of January, as I really just didn't know what to do or where to go. I'm gonna stop rambling now and dive in. I will see you later.
Oh, had I known, I would wear my pretty dress.
Hello, loud. I couldn't find the
Look, give me a
tab.
plug.
Hmm?
Oh, there you go. She's back. This is back again.
You taught me the courage of stars before you left. How light carries on endlessly.
It's not an audacity. Is it really an audacity to tag someone in a tag? Like, they don't have to do it.
With shore,
I know what you're gonna say. I know.
this
Say it anyway.
you explain the
Hello friends, it is currently Tuesday, the day after I filmed my last clip, and I spent 7 hours yesterday just talking to Wallis about every aspect of the book, and I literally went through and like outlined very detailed all of the points and all of the scenes that are going to be happening in this rewrite. I currently have 23 chapters like mapped out, and then the ending is pretty much going to stay the same from a event and prose sort of way, because I think it was actually pretty good. But that was really nice. It was really nice to get the creative juices flowing, and I think a lot of the twists and moments really kind of came together in a very cohesive and fun way. There's a lot of extra twists and extra like little clues and like hints that I'm going to be throwing into the beginning of the book, so that you, the reader, gets the better sense of like the big ending twist thingy. Wow, my brain is mush. So I've started to write. The first chapter actually takes place in another character's point of view than the original start of the chapter. I've literally had every character POV start this book, except for this one, and now he's starting this book and this chapter. I'm currently sitting at 714 words for chapter 1. I hung out with Wallis and Stieg and Devasia earlier today. We did not stream today, don't worry. We sometimes just get on and co-write together, and not co-write, but like co-work together and chat and do a whole bunch of fun stuff. It's great. It's wonderful. I feel very discombobulated, and I feel really like not into video making right now, which is really sad because I really like video making. And I think there's a lot of stuff that I want to talk about, especially with doing a complete full 90% of the book rewrite. But right now I am not feeling great today. I'm having like a lot of like weird back and neck pain that and like jaw pain, like really weird, like right here in my neck, and then like down my back it feels really tight. This shit just happens to me. I think I've talked about this before. I used to play tennis in high school, and I was not very kind to my body, and I beat it up a lot and would just like not take breaks. And wow, sounds like me now, except it's writing instead of tennis. So I think I'm gonna move over to my bed and lay down to do some writing. I'm trying to get to 2,000 words today. I think this draft will be about 100,000 words, and my goal deadline, fingers crossed, is March 12th, which will be like exactly a year from when I actually started really in-depth working on the Wrath King. So that's like really exciting that in a year it's come really, really far, and like there's a lot that's done with it. This book has really been honed back into what I really originally wanted the story to be, and now it's just about executing those details and making it feel like how I want it to feel. And I definitely have a very cohesive idea of what this book should be. So it's kind of nerve-wracking to try to get that perfect idea onto the paper, onto the page, but that's what more editing is for. And I think it's just going to be a better book, more streamlined, more cohesive, and it's going to be a better fantasy for the changes that I'm making. And I'm really excited about the new point of view I'm adding. It's very exciting. I'm excited to kind of bump up the kind of brotherhood aspect of the book, because I was chatting with Wallis and talking about all of my boys, and I love them so much, and I just want to talk about them more, but I'm not going to. They're messy and they're complicated, and they're just boys who are boys being boys, and they're crazy and wild, and they all have their quirks. Anyway, I'm procrastinating because I don't want to get back to writing. I'm gonna go get in bed and continue to work with Kate Kavanaugh's Twitch stream. She is streaming on Twitch. I might see you later, or I might see you tomorrow.
Feeling like Pluto, you already knew though. I'm hiding just behind the stars, but how come the stars don't shine when it's day? How come the sky at night?
Good morning. It's Wednesday, the next day. I am currently on live stream with Stieg and Devasia. Wallis unfortunately could not be here with us today. She is just feeling unwell. She's fine from what she has told me. So last night, after I did not update you because I had a really horrible migraine for like most of the night, which I'm thinking of making like a whole video about chronic illness and writing, which I don't know if that's something that people would be interested in. I recently watched a Kristin Leatherman video. It was her weekly vlog where she talks about her chronic illness and writing with that chronic illness and stuff like that. I will link that down below in the description box. You should go follow her. She is such a wonderful human being. I love her videos. They're so calming. Her energy in her videos really puts me at ease, and she just feels like the most genuine human being, and I just want to be friends with her. Anyway, yeah, so I had a migraine last night. I did end up finishing chapter 2, now to 2,333 words, and it went pretty well. It's a completely new and different scene than what I'm used to writing. Oh, I'm like really nervous about it because I feel like it's good, but then also at the same time I feel like I've just been really insecure about my writing recently, and like not feeling the most confident in my abilities, but we are pushing past it, and I'm going to be working on chapter 2. Hopefully it goes well, fingers crossed. I watched the rest of Bridgerton last night as my reward. I only had like 2 or 3 episodes left, I forget how many. It was okay. I'm not going to get into my thoughts now. There were things at the end that I just really disliked, like immensely disliked. Specifically episode 6, where if you know, you know, because the internet has kind of been really mad about it, and I'm also kind of mad about it. But there are so many other voices that discuss it way better if you're interested. Just Google like anything to do with Bridgerton and episode 6, because you know. Yeah. So I'm just gonna continue working. I'm just chilling. I have to get into chapter 2, and anyway, I have a minute left before this timer is over, and I'm gonna jump back into being a host and stop procrastinating my rating. Okay, friends, so it has been such a struggle bus today that I don't feel like filming anymore because my brain is like, hey, you should go take a nap because you're tired. Luckily, I am going to be doing a lot more work today, but this is going to be the end of the vlog. I did send the first, I guess like, well, third draft technically of the first chapter to Wallis and Devasia, 2 amazing human beings. Highly recommend that you go check them out, especially Devasia because she is almost at 1,000 subscribers. And if you're not subscribed to her already, what are you doing? Like, truly, what are you doing? Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up down below. And if you want to see more of my rambling face, make sure you do hit that subscribe button while you're down there. I wish you guys the best of luck in your writing endeavors this week, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!